Hi there, JC1 students and parents. Congratulations, you have just confirmed your JCs. You have just started your JC education. I'm Kelvin Hong here, founder of The Economics Tutor and Ace GP Tuition. And here are some sharings about how you can choose your JC subject combinations. Now, that's obviously a very important decision, so I hope that this video sharing will be valuable to you. Now, first and foremost, to cut to the chase, you would probably have decided, and also your O-level results would determine whether you will be entering the arts stream or the science stream. And within each of these streams, there are a couple of subject combinations that are most common, that are most popular. So for the arts, GELM and HELM, self-explanatory, and for the sciences, PCME, BCME, self-explanatory as well. So making this choice is not that difficult. You probably already have quite a firm choice in your mind. However, the next very important decision that you have to make is to choose your H2 subject, especially in light of the new JC rank point A-level scoring system. And here are all the block resources that we have put together for you, and with me explaining them through this video. Now, in the new JC rank point A-level scoring system, students may choose just 3 H2 subjects and 1 H1 subject. Of course, if you want to challenge yourself and if you're up to the challenge, you may choose 4 H2 subjects as well, no problem at all. But 3 H2, 1 H1, that's probably going to be a very common choice amongst the JC students. So what we have done was, back in 2023, we actually surveyed our batch of JC students about the choices that they would have made if they were to be put in this situation of having to choose 3H2, 1H1. So these are JC students that have already gone through most of JC. They were J2, and most of them, they were taking 4 H2 subjects, and we surveyed them that if you were to drop one of them to a H1, which subject would you drop? So this sharing from the student's perspective, essentially from your seniors' perspective, from your seniors' experience, I think is very valuable. So a student from RI, he or she said economics instead of physics, find physics much tougher. Another student from RI will probably drop math, don't see much real world application, unlike for economics. Probably quite true. I don't know when is the last time I applied anything of JC math that I learned. Not even additional math at secondary school level. But of course, if you were to take a different career path like engineering and so on, then that's a different story. Student from VJC, economics instead of chemistry, econs is a lot more interesting. I can already apply it even in gaming. Very believable. I can understand a lot of economics concepts. Are just very applicable, relatable, useful on a daily basis. Now, at this juncture, let me share with you that I was not the one personally conducting the survey. We had alumni, ex-students that went out to the student pool to conduct this survey. So it is not biased, all right? Or there should be very little bias. They are not saying what they think I want to hear just because I run the economics tutor. So it is mostly unbiased feedback, mostly unbiased sharing from our students. VJC, economics instead of literature. Why? Lit content not engaging, sometimes difficult to understand, skills complicated, marking inconsistent, difficult to pick up and score. So already you've got some opinions, right, from their experience about different subjects. Economics instead of bio, the amount of nitty-gritty content in bio is just unbelievable. The content for economics, relatively lighter, easier to understand, easier to remember. Student from HCI, I would probably drop economics. I have no talent for economics. Guess what? We tracked this, and the student actually scored A for economics. So, moral of the story, you may join us without talent, and we make you a superstar. Student from NJC, I still can't decide. Depends on what I want to study in the uni, and I'm still unsure. And I think that's a very valid situation as well, right? Okay, so your subject choice, okay, which one you choose as your H2 versus H1 can affect what subjects you go on to read, to study in the university. Okay, so that's also something that you have to factor in. And sometimes at 17 years old, how to make your decision? So, well, that's something to consider as well. EJC, definitely still do economics if you are teaching. Thank you very much. Probably drop math to H1 as there seems to be higher variance in performance for math. Sometimes can score A, then suddenly, this paper, got some strange questions, score C, so higher variance. Student from ACJC can drop GP. Okay, so if you don't find your JC in this list, well, there's no particular reason. It's just that for a sample, okay, we selected this list because they seem to provide enough reasons, okay, and understanding that is useful. So, but generally, all the other students all also about the same kind of response, okay, and I think this is quite something for you to think about. So there you go. Other replies are quite similar. And I think this can be useful guidance for your choice of H2 subjects to focus on. And if you were to choose economics, I think it is very important that you know, highly advisable that you start your JC economics tuition right from JC1, right from the start of JC1. Okay, a very strong foundation is extremely important for you. If not, you're going to face a very uphill, difficult, very stressful climb. Okay, so this is not just because I'm the economics tutor and so on. Seriously, right? We've seen so many batches of students. So those who join us right from the beginning, they have about 95 to 99% chance probability of scoring an A. Okay, so almost certain of scoring an A. Okay, because they have been learning all the right stuff, understanding it very well, building up right from the beginning. Okay, so they are very, very strong already, mostly come A level exam. But those who delay, those who come in later, the longer you delay, things get worse. You got a whole mountain of wrong ideas, wrong understanding, misunderstanding, misconceptions to work out, and you're still learning new topics, right? And then this may not be the only subject that you are struggling with, so it gets very tough. Okay, and JC is a very intensive 2 years. Things fly by very quickly. Okay, so seriously, for your benefit, try to start your JC economics tuition as early as possible. Okay, and maybe that's also true for your other subjects. Okay, and by the way, why study economics? Are there other reasons beyond those factors that we have talked about? Actually, it can help you to become very financially savvy. And of course, I think generally most students will really want to be very financially savvy. Okay, they know that's very important for their future. So just some sharing. Okay, I share this with my students. Whenever I make very good decisions, investment decisions, or very poor investment decisions, there can be lessons to learn as well. So, for example, in recent years, right, my application of economics helped me to pay only 1.12% interest rate for housing loan. Okay, I locked in this very low interest rate for housing loan before interest rates became sky high, became like 5%. Okay, and how did I do that? Why did I do that? It is because I utilized my economics knowledge, my economics theory, and I already saw around the bend what the global economy was going through and how central banks around the world were going to hike up interest rates. Okay, so this saved me a lot of money. Now, understanding financial markets, including foreign exchange markets. Okay, forex trading is a career on its own, or it can be a very lucrative side hustle as well. So when I teach my students about exchange rate, okay, I like them to learn from that viewpoint. Okay, that one day they could utilize it to help them make money as well. Okay, and because of our knowledge in economics, long time ago, many years already. Okay, I already told my students. Okay, that there are some currencies that are going to benefit from the US China trade war that's since 2018 already. Okay, so and indeed, okay, that played out to be true. Okay, so that's how economics is so practical. And to even do big business, okay, but not the kind of big business that you might be thinking of. Okay, I literally mean big business. So if you look at this post of mine, okay, if you want to, you can go Google, all right, the exact blog post. Okay, I analyzed in 2023 some of the best businesses using Straits Times data provided on fastest growing companies in 2023. So I made use of our knowledge, our theory in one of the topics, theory of firm market structure. Okay, and I discovered, analyzing the data, applying the economics knowledge. Okay, that lo and behold, okay, who is this Panico? Okay, never heard of, right? But a highly lucrative business, at least back then. Okay, so very applicable. It can help you to identify big businesses that you can invest in or that you can enter into yourself. All right, and many other benefits as well, as you can see. On top of that, okay, in another blog post of ours, um, you may not be aware, but economics is one of the most common degrees of the CEOs of the world's most successful companies. Okay, and I cite this information, and you will find that many of them actually have studied economics. And closer to home, guess what? If you want to be very powerful in Singapore, ta-da! Okay, one of the common threads amongst our leaders, economics training. They all studied economics in the universities, okay, and most likely in their JCs as well. Okay, so very, very useful subject, very, very practical, helps you in many ways. Now, for a very, very practical reason, let me share with you, okay, very, very important for you all, okay, and you'll be looking at this calculator because you're going to be graduating beyond 2026. Now, let's say you have done 3 H2 all A's, all right, and let's say A for GP as well. Okay, then your H1 subject scores, your mother tongue language scores, do not matter. You will score 70 upon 70 for your JC rank points, your university admission score, full marks. Okay, well done. Okay, and you'll probably get into whatever choice university, whatever choice course. But what if one of your H2 subjects didn't do well? Okay, so if let's say you're not choosing economics as one of the H2 subjects, okay, you can easily run into this problem, right? Because as you have seen and the sharings from ex-students, some of the other subjects, high variance in scoring, okay, a bit more risky and so on. So let's say, okay, touch whatever wood around you, okay, C for one of your H2 subjects, all right? Now, many JC students make the mistake of thinking that they just don't care. H1, I don't care, I don't need a. That is quite an unfortunate error. Okay, if you did not bother about H1 subject, and let's say you chose economics as your H1 subject, okay, let's say you score C for your H1 economics, it could be worse. C, not that bad, right? If you just cruise along, okay, but easily, okay, you can score E, U, or S for H1 economics. Don't play, okay? So let's say you scored C, all right, and let's say you also didn't really care very much about GP. Let's say you scored a C, okay, mother tongue, let's say you aced it, okay, we're not so focused on the mother tongue language here. What will your rank points be? 63.44. Just because, right? C for H2, and then you also didn't care very much about the rest. Okay. What if you score an A for your H1 subject, you score an A for your GP as well? How is that going to make a difference? 66.11, almost 3-point difference. Big difference. It's a massive difference. So take note, you even, all right? You have H1 subject, but don't think that you can just throw it away, okay, don't care, and so on. Because if you have some riskier subjects among your H2, okay, then right, you better play a little bit safer. All right, yes, you can play around. Okay, come to our JC rank points calculator. It's quite a fun game, okay, for you to play around with. Okay, so let's say we go back to this scenario. And you're a bit wiser, so you did well for your GP. Maybe you join our ACE GP tuition. Okay, do a little bit of advertisement here. Okay, right, and we have a very qualified GP tutors besides myself, Dr. Aaron Cole as well, ex-MOE GP teacher, a senior professor, etc., etc. Okay, so check this out if you're interested. And what if you did well for your GP? Okay, but this is still looking bad. Okay, again, it could be worse. What's the difference in the rank point? 65.63. Okay, so still, almost a 1 point difference as well. So don't play, right? It can cost you quite a bit, okay, because you did not do well for H2. So what H2 subjects to pick? Extremely important choice. And then if you got some risky ones over here, you probably do not want to risk your H1 subject as well. Certainly, you should also put some priority on general paper. Okay, so these are some advice we are sharing with you. We hope you make the right decision. For those of you who are considering economics tuition or even GP tuition, you can contact us. We still have a early bird promo that will expire by middle of this month, actually by 14 Feb. Oh no, by 15 Feb. Okay, so I hope this sharing has been useful. See you in class. Ciao.